The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is Big Mo's personal experience at the Deontay Wilder fight. So for those who don't know, we have two real Deontay Wilder fans here. We have G, who's purchased Deontay Wilder fights twice, has a Deontay Wilder shirt framed at his crib, and then we have Big Mo, who's from Alabama and was actually at the Deontay Wilder versus Dominique Brazil, which was Deontay Wilder's last fight. And Big Mo's gonna tell us about what happened when he was at that fight. Big Mo.
Packed house. Was it a packed house?
I mean, it was a packed house for the guys from other countries, man. It was in New York, so New York's real diverse. So other guys from other countries, they got sections. You got section with a lot of Asians, a lot of China. So what it is fights that don't sell. Like the event sells, but the fight in particular don't sell. So, and I had good seats. I'm thinking I'm up here like, wow, man, look at these seats I got. I can see everything. I don't even need the jumbotron. And then as they pan on the jumbotron, you see look like a Miami Dolphins game. You can see the chairs. You can see Wilder versus Brazil,
and that's during the event.
That's right before the fight.
Oh, okay. Right before the Wilder fight.
That's right before the fight.
Okay.
And it was a long intermission, man, right before that fight too. It's getting late and they want to get that done, but it was about between fights, it was about 30, 35, 40 minutes between fights, and there's a lot of empty seats. And the Barclays staff, they was walking around, not even with tickets. They was just writing it like, listen, I got seats in this row, boom, boom, boom. Would you like to go down and fill it for the camera? Mm. And the lady asked me, I got 2 seats in the second row. From right with the ring, the gate, row 1, Floyd Mayweather and those type of dudes, and I could sit right behind them. Mm. I could lean up and take a selfie.
Bro, that's a come up. You did it, right?
No, I didn't.
You didn't do it? Why?
No, I didn't, because the group I was with, it was 8 of us, and one of my buddies is cool with Deontay, and we was all together, and it was a guy and his girlfriend there. It was her birthday.
So you just let them go.
I let him get the seats. I could have. Yeah, I could have went.
Oh, okay, but you could have.
Yeah, I could have went.
That's very honorable.
I could have.
So you let someone else in your group go up.
Yeah.
No, there was another dude and his girl was there.
Oh, okay.
But
he stayed with the homies.
Oh, okay.
Had it been a normal circumstance where it's just me and my cousin, or we would have went down, took the second row. But I mean,
well, you had good seats anyway. You could see everything.
Yeah,
I don't like to be second row anyway. I like to be a little elevated.
Yeah,
the ring.
Yeah.
I was where Paul Malignaggi and them, where they shoot there. I was right there.
Yeah.
So I usually buy tickets like that when I go away for a fight. I usually $200 or $300 so I can get good seats, and I can like where Deontay came out at I was right above that. So I'm right there. But it was just surprised me and it's like 20 or 30 people walking around from the Barclays staff giving away seats. And they didn't just come to me and my people, they was walking around and they start from the top. Cause people up the top, like, let's go down there and see the fight, man. You spent money. You didn't spend as much money as most people, and they probably feel like the section of seats I was in was dope seats. So they start from the top. We spent money on ours, and they probably got in for $30, $40, $25. So you know what I'm saying.
So they offer you the upgrade first. Yeah,
go down there and enjoy it, man. But
then they started pulling people from the balcony, from the top seats, and bringing them down.
Yeah. They was walking around giving them seats away, and I think that's what took so long for the fight for the guys to come out.
They want to make it look good for the camera.
Make it look good. All right, so here's another question for you. The Barclays Center seats 16,000. From what ESPN reported, it said there was about 10,000 people at that fight, the Brazil fight. Is that what would you say that's accurate? There was about 10,000 people at that fight.
There was 10,000 people in the building. in the building.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
because there's also a heavyweight guy. He's a Polish guy, big
Adam.
Kanowski. His fight was after. His fight was after the main event.
What?
Yeah.
Oh!
Well, they do that at the.
That's how they. Yeah, I know, but that's how they got the people.
Yeah,
wow.
It didn't air it like that.
It didn't air.
Wow.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. What people see at home is is a little bit different. But that fight was after, and
majority of people were the Polish fans.
the whole everything was the Polish fans.
Yo,
Listen, the whole everything.
I'm not even shocked by
The
it.
whole stadium was the Polish fans.
Yo, the
to
fact
be honest,
that he wasn't the main and they didn't,
And-
is shocking.
and this guy's fighting
I
out of
gotta walk
Brooklyn.
with
He
you.
fights
I
out
got
of
a
Brooklyn.
theory,
The
man. I got a
Polish, he
theory.
fights out of Brooklyn.
Yeah,
Now this is real. This is
exactly.
not. This is, I respect. I respect what you're saying. This is real talk.
No, that's on his. He fights out of Brooklyn.
Yeah, you're a Wilder fan.
Oh yeah,
You're from
yeah.
Alabama.
Yeah, I'm on the bomb squad.
And so
I'm
who do you think would win out of Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder?
right now, I think Wilder will win just because of hand speed.
Okay.
I don't think Joshua can deal with the hand speed.
I respect that. I'm just asking these questions because to
It's
see
power
like you're being
behind it,
objective.
but-
You have no reason to
Yeah,
like
nah.
because you're
Now-
a Wilder fan. You pick
yeah.
Wilder over Joshua. You just telling
I would,
what you
I
experienced.
would, but I don't think he would have did so good against like the Klitschko's and dudes like that.
Yeah.
Because of hand speed and the talent, the boxing talent. I
I
think
hear you.
he got to brush up on his skills. Last couple fights, he looked a lot better. He got a jab now, somewhat of a jab now. But I think in order for him to be like the Hall of Fame stuff he talking about, he got to polish his skills. He's just an athlete. He used to play football. He's just athletic.
Without a doubt, he's
and
an
out
athlete.
quicking everybody.
Yeah.
he's just out quicking.
He's Roy Jones in people. That's what I
Yeah,
said. He's
yeah,
Roy
he's
Jones in
outlooking
people. But
everybody.
what happens when you lose
Yeah.
some steam off that fastball?
That's what I'm
so
saying.
it's like you got to have boxing skills.
Yeah.
Now, respect. These are two real Deontay Wilder fans. When I say real, they don't just pick Deontay Wilder because they don't like AJ. They actually buy merchandise, buy the fights, go to the fights, support Deontay Wilder. What you heard was someone who was a Deontay Wilder fan who actually paid to support Deontay Wilder, telling you what took place at the Deontay Wilder fight. Now I'm not here to I know people look at me. I just speak the truth. This is why I say Wilder should take the AJ fight, should have taken the AJ fight. Because if he takes the AJ fight and he wins, those seats are packed for Wilder.
Yeah, there won't be no questions on him,
He's
his
a
legacy, whatever.
he's the biggest superstar in boxing.
Yeah.
He'll even surpass Canelo if he does that. Because we would have our first American undisputed heavyweight champion since what was it, Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
Oh, Holyfield. Since Holyfield.
Oh yeah, Holyfield got it.
I mean, come on, guys.
Shannon,
But he was he undisputed?
I think he had them all.
He had it was
Kenneth Briggs?
Shannon,
He had them all.
yeah, I don't know. Let's look it up. Somebody look it up.
we can look, we'll look that, we'll get into that. But yeah, I know he's the last he was the last American heavyweight before Deontay.
Unified.
But yeah, I maybe he was the last unified. Was he undisputed though? I don't know if Shannon was ever
I thought he had
undisputed. Yeah.
With that punch.
But but here's the thing. We can go through the back and forths and whatnot, but this is a true story you just heard from a Deontay Wilder fan. I personally just think Deontay Wilder should take the big fights because if all else fails, he's proven that he can land the right hand. And when he lands the right hand, people go down. So you always have to be wary of that. And he's also shown he can carry the power through the later rounds because if you look at the Fury fight, he dropped Fury, it was like the 9th and the 12th. And he stopped Luis Ortiz in the 10th. So he's not just dangerous in the first round. He's dangerous in the later rounds. And his speed doesn't go away with the right hand, which is the most dangerous thing about Deontay Wilder. And so I think it's time for Deontay Wilder to make these big fights. It's time for him to sell out arenas where he doesn't need the Polish fans to come see someone else. It's time for Deontay Wilder to become the star he promotes himself to be. And if he doesn't want to do that, he's never really going to get the respect that he wants in the United States of America. That's just my take on it.
But I feel like I'm obligated to defend Wilder on this one. Let's just be real. Nobody wanted to see Wilder fight Brazil. Real rap. No one. Including Wilder fans.
I don't want to see the next fight.
None of us wanted to see Deontay Wilder fight Brazil. Brazil was a mandatory that nobody was looking for. He was inactive for damn near 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cared about Brazil. Even when he was on Fox, barely winning against bums, right? Nobody cared. You know what I mean? So it's to me, I always look at it how boxing is you're only as good as your opposition. Yo, if you're fighting a Brazil, for one, that shouldn't have been pay-per-view at all. You know what I'm saying? That should just be on regular Fox.
That was on pay-per-view?
Yeah, it was on pay-per-view.
Oh, it's crazy. See,
No,
I didn't know.
The fight with Brazil wasn't on pay-per-view?
No, that was on Fox.
No, that was regular
Hold
TV.
on, which one was the one where I paid for Wilder on
Tyson
pay-per-view?
Fury.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that was
oh,
on
my
Fox.
bad. All right, cool. So then it doesn't really.
No, I was on Showtime, I think.
But pretty much
Okay,
what
yeah,
I'm saying is nobody wanted to see it, right? So then now, I'm being honest with you. Even me as a Wilder fan, do I really want to pay $300 just to watch him beat up on Brazil? I'm being real. No, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's easy money. You know, you want to see him like fight like the real top 10, not he had the mandatory spot for so long that he got to stay up over there. Nah, we want you to at least fight the top 5. Mm-hmm. That's what it should be, and then people will come out. You know, like, and to be honest with you, from a marketing standpoint, it makes sense to always have a household name at an arena. You know what I'm saying? Especially people from other countries, because, and this is what I've been saying since the beginning of Boxing Bros. Like, other countries support their own.
Yeah, oh yeah.
African Americans, not so much. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be extremely spectacular for African Americans to say, hey, you know what, we're gonna support you. Yeah. Every other nationality, it doesn't matter to them. You could be mediocre; they're gonna still come out in droves to support
and
you.
After their fight is over, they leave.
Exactly.
They don't stay for the whole card.
That's what I'm saying. They
After the
only
fight's
come to
over,
support
they
their
leave.
people, and that's it.
They
and
leave.
to me, it's like, so that's why it's kind of like when what's his name, Alexander Usyk in Chicago. It made sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, Eddie Hearn's not an idiot. Why he choose Chicago out of all places? Because he knew Usyk's fan base is there. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, it sucks to be Wilder, right? Because it's like, boxing's probably not huge in Alabama, right? So clearly he has to go to New York. You know what I mean? But again, for like out of all the sports, in particular for like the Black American community, boxing's not as up there as basketball and football. You see what I'm saying? So we have more Black casuals than other sports.
Yo, bro, it's not real. I'm not gonna listen to this slander any longer. Right. Boxing produces always one of the top 5 highest paid athletes in the world. In fact, when it was Floyd Mayweather, he was the highest paid athlete in the world. Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor were 2 top 5 of the highest paid athletes in the world off one fight. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to hear that, right? I let you speak uninterrupted for a long period of time. I just would like to make my point, and then you can jump right in. Thank you. So I don't want to hear that the African American community and the American public, they don't support boxing and they don't want to pay for boxing. Here's what it is. If you tell me I can turn my channel to see Deontay Wilder fight Dominique Brazil, or I can watch LeBron James play Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, I'm watching LeBron play. Period, point blank. Exactly. I'm watching LeBron play. That's a good game. Yeah. I'll catch the Deontay Wilder highlight. What I need to see, that right hand that he landed on Brazil later. If you tell me I can go to New York to see Deontay Wilder fight Dominique Brazil, or I can go to a game and see the Patriots play the Rams, or I can go see Saquon Barkley, or I can go see I'm gonna go see those guys. Yeah, we're not saying the same thing. Here's what I'm saying to you. This is what I'm saying to you. You're saying the American public won't support the boxer or they're casuals, and I don't think that's the case. I think the American public is not paying for trash. Like, that's the difference. Like, if Deontay Wilder fights somebody, the American public will pay. The American public will watch. Here in America,
that's my point. That's literally what I was saying.
But you were disrespecting the fans, like, the African American fans won't.
I don't think you.
No, I was, because I heard you say like the African American fans are like casuals. That's what I heard you say.
No, I said in boxing, there's more diehard basketball and football fans than there are casuals in those sports for African Americans than for boxing. There's more African American casuals in boxing than there are in the other sports. So
I don't agree with that though. Yo, bro, African American people know boxing. For you to say that, bro, is like real disrespectful.
All right, how about this, right? what are the most popping sports in America?
But why are
right
they
now?
the most popping sports? This is the point. The best always have to play each other at some point.
And that's my point. We're literally saying the same
No,
thing.
we're not.
Because
You're
I
calling-
said no, because I definitely said it's because he was fighting Brazil. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he was
No, I
fighting,
know. Wait.
If he was fighting like a,
Yo, I just want to finish making my
or-
point real
All
quick
right, go
because you did talk. The difference in what I'm saying and what you're saying is you're saying that the African Americans are casuals in boxing, right?
That's not what I was saying either. I think you misunderstand what I'm saying.
Yo, here's
still.
what you said. Correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
but you said that the people of other cultures will show up to the fights, right, and support their fighters, and the African Americans won't. And my line was that not
Yeah,
what he
that's
said?
exactly what I'm saying.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's you disrespecting the African Americans in my point of view. The difference is African Americans, we have so many champions. We don't need to just ride one, right? We can choose what African American fighter we support. We got so many champions. Look at right now. I can name to you a bunch. We got Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence Jr. We can pick what champion we
But I
want to
think-
support.
but he might have
Hold
been
on, let
more
me just-
specific to the heavyweight.
No, wait.
Thank
Let me.
you. That's exactly
No,
what
no,
I'm
no,
talking
no,
about.
no,
I don't know
no, no,
that
no,
is
no,
what I'm talking
no,
about.
No. It's not just to the heavyweight though, because name me another Polish fighter who's popping like that, like Adam Kaunowski.
Oh, yeah, true.
Right? Exactly my point. So what I'm saying to you is sometimes they only got one. Name to me another Filipino fighter who's popping like Manny Pacquiao.
Other than
Yo, bro, we dominate every division.
Yeah.
So we're not going to pick our weakest champion to get behind. Don't disrespect the African American community. Like, yo, you know who else is a member of the African American community? LeBron James. You know who else is a member of the African American community? Steph Curry. You know who else is a member of the African American community? Kevin Durant. You know who else is a member of the African American community? Deshaun Watson. We rather see those brothers play real competition than see Deontay Wilder fight a bum. So don't sit here and
But that's
say,
exactly what
no,
I'm
that's
saying.
not, bro. You're wrong.
Nah,
The African
you're not
American
getting what I'm
community supports African Americans, but
I understand
Deontay
that.
Wilder is fighting bums. But don't say that people won't come out for him, and don't
This
say
what
that
I'm
they're
saying.
casuals.
This is what I'm saying. The Polish community, the Ukrainian community, the Mexican community, it doesn't matter. They're gonna support their champions regardless.
That's not
what I'm saying.
true. They supporting their champions because they have a limited number of champions.
But
bro.
that's my.
All right, let's give
regardless.
every culture you just named
Yep.
the same number of champions that we have, and you're telling me the support for all those people would be the same?
Of course not.
Yo,
No, but
Andy
that's not the
Ruiz,
situation.
Andy
But that's not the
Ruiz
situation.
is the first Mexican heavyweight champion in the world,
Yep.
right? First Mexican American, but whatever, we'll give him to Mexico,
Yeah.
right? You think Mexico's not going to show up for that? It's the first time they had one.
Of
How
course.
many
Hold on.
African American
Yeah, you're
heavyweight
right.
champions have we had in the history of the sport?
For one, I'm
so
saying
Wilder's
this.
not unique to us.
All right, so correct me if I'm wrong, right? Because I feel like we're still saying the same thing.
We're not.
However, the justification is different, right? But it's the same outcome.
No, yeah,
It's
I
the
don't
same
agree.
outcome.
We
Because,
have
like,
the same conclusion, but our premise
Yeah,
is
for the-
different.
For the sake of our show, we're gonna have to do a part 2 of this. Please like and subscribe. Check us out.
Anyways,
on
like I
Facebook,
was saying, bro, I'm not gonna get cut off
and
like
Twitter.
that. Yo,
You know what I'm saying?
like I was saying though, like for real, our premise is different, but we reach the same conclusion. But our premise is still different.
Mm-hmm.
It's disrespectful to call someone a casual and to say that African Americans are casual because they don't support a guy
That's
who they
not
don't
what I
believe
said.
in.
You see, that's where me and you have the disconnect. I never said that. I'm saying in the overall scope of boxing fans, overall scope of basketball fans, overall scope of football fans, right? There are more diehards in the other sports that look like us, fans that look like us.
How do you know that?
We come on, man. There's
No,
millions
you're
of
basing that
algorithms.
you're basing that off of Deontay Wilder's numbers and ignoring Floyd Mayweather's numbers.
No. Including
Okay.
Floyd Mayweather's numbers, right?
No.
Because first and foremost, let's just be real. African Americans are 13% of the population in the United States. So clearly,
how many of those
Floyd
13%
Mayweather
watch a Floyd Mayweather
for
fight?
Floyd Mayweather to make the type of money that he's making, clearly he's generating funds from all kind of
But the
people.
reason- the
So
reason-
that's,
But that's irrelevant to the
Because
point.
now-
Yo, if
no,
we're 13,
I have to explain
if we're
something.
13% of the population, right?
You
How
don't
much of
let
that
me finish my
13%?
point.
Because you're doing something that's irrelevant. So I
No,
jump
it's
in.
not.
So listen, no,
All right,
hold
go
on.
ahead.
If we're
Go
only
ahead.
13% of the population,
Yup.
how much of that 13% purchases a Floyd Mayweather fight?
I have no idea.
Exactly
I
my
was-
point.
this
You
is-
don't know how much of that 13%.
I'm
Let me finish,
asking
bro.
you.
All
You answer the
I want is for you to let me finish. Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
How much of that 13% of the population watches LeBron James play Steph Curry?
I don't know. But I
You
can
don't
look it
know.
up.
Exactly
Hold
my
on.
point. So you don't know
But
if
I
there are
can
more
find this out.
diehard
Hold on,
fans.
this is the
No,
difference.
you just proved my point. Hold on. You just proved my point. You don't know if there are more diehard African American fans watching basketball than boxing. You just admitted that. Thank you, my brother.
No. This is what I was
Blessings.
saying.
Blessings,
All I
my
gotta
brother.
do is do
Thank
this,
you.
right? There's
Thank
such
you.
thing called the Nielsen report.
Then do
where
it.
They literally
Until you
they
do that,
provide
don't
these
say
figures.
that.
I could, next week I'll
Do
come
it.
back with
But
these
do
figures,
it. But the
and then
point,
you're
you know
gonna
what it
see
is?
like, oh,
Do
wow,
it.
you got
But
that.
you know what
Because
it
clearly
is?
there's
No, no,
more
no.
fans, there's more
Kids-
African American fans in boxing and I mean in basketball and football than there
But you
is
know
in
why
boxing.
though? But you know why though? Because in the hood everywhere, being real, where we grow up, where we come from,
Thank you.
it's easier for kids to
Pop
pick
on.
up a basketball.
Thank you, and pick up a football.
That doesn't mean there's more fans, though.
No. It got nothing to do
All
with
the
fans.
athletes go to the fights.
No.
All the people who watch football watch
but
the
it got nothing
fights.
to do with the fans. It got nothing to do with being fans. But what it got to do with is a kid feeling like I can go do that.
More people doing.
Thank you.
That's why.
More people doing.
Not
Thank you. That's all I
because
was
of,
saying.
More people.
but not the
Go ahead,
fans.
go ahead. You got something?
This is what I was saying. It's hard. We gotta wrap this up. We spend a lot of time on this. I look at it like this. There's fans. We can't. There's really no number of fans. What we were trying to say, what bro was trying to say about where basketball is more easily accessible. You know what I'm saying? Like, kid could just go outside and there's a basketball court, and then you go pick that basketball
I
up
played
and go
football
shoot.
in college, and
You know
I
what
wanted
I'm
to play
saying?
basketball.
Yeah, and then you know what I'm saying, you got kids out here that just throw the football around, and these are the sports that's just normally played. You know what I'm saying? But with bros go, everybody's saying different points, and nobody is grasping what they're saying.
Everybody's point is right.
Yeah,
though.
everybody's point is right.
Point is
But
right.
everybody's
It's just-
saying it different. It's matching.
talking about different things.
Different things. That's what I'm getting. Like, for example, boxing. There's a lot of fans in boxing. There's a lot of fans that are African American. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we have fans that watch basketball and football, but I don't. I love boxing. This is what I watch. I would rather watch a boxing match than watch a game if it's not the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me.
And funny thing, I like
When I
heavyweights,
say-
and you don't.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
you do, but
yeah,
you
I
know.
do. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think this is the golden era.
No, it's not.
You know what I'm saying? Now, here's another thing: is we're also with fans of boxing. We're all fans of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
When there's Mike Tyson was fighting, and it was the big fight, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was tuned into the fight. Everybody is a fan of boxing. You know what I'm saying? If you knew it was a fight when Mayweather was fighting, there's people that have never watched boxing, but they was a fan. You know
Even
what I'm
if
saying?
they wanted to see him lose.
They was
Even
a
if they
fan.
wanted to see him lose.
To be real, my little sister fell in love with Mayweather off of his Showtime special.
You see what I'm saying? And these are people that are fans of boxing. You know what I'm saying? These casuals. And what my brother was trying to say, Katie here, he's trying to say, we have so many options. You know what I'm saying? We should have so many options of what we do because there's so many stars. We have so many options who we can support or who we can go see. You know what I'm saying? So if we don't see this person at this one time, you know what I'm saying? That's probably because we're focused on this champion over here because we do have a lot of champions. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna say, brother?
Can I say this and you can close this out, yo? G, your man's ain't popping. He ain't popular, though.
Yeah. Now, no.
Ooh,
It's that.
Deontay Wilder.
stop that.
Now,
Bomb
now,
squad.
now,
Bomb squad.
we'll end it just like this. Like, this conversation can go on and on. I think we can do part two. I understand what G was saying too, as far as like what you see at games and what you see at certain things. You'll see more of our people at these games and at these other events than you see at. And what bro's trying to say is because of who he's fighting and how we got so many options. You know what I'm
Ticket
saying?
prices, too,
Yeah, and
everything,
ticket
right?
prices and everything is same. So basically, you can basically see which each part is coming to. I just think certain words was crossed. But please like and subscribe. This debate can go on and on. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And just know this is the reason why Boxing Bros is coming out with a podcast.